Hello everyone and welcome to the channel Grow Up to Succeed. Today we are doing something we have never done before. We will be mastering the most influential book on behavior change ever written, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Most people watch a 5-minute summary and think they know the book, but knowing isn't doing. In this masterclass, we are going to dive into deep psychology, the why behind your failures, and the how behind your future successes. If you have ever felt like your willpower is a broken battery, or if you have felt like you are stuck in a loop of bad decisions, this session is going to be a turning point for you. Grab a notebook and let's go into the mechanics of 1% improvement. The first learning from this book is the biology of 1% principle. Let's start with the math that scares people. We are obsessed with quantum leaps. We want the overnight transformation. But James Clear introduces the 1% rule. Think about a math of compounding. If you improve just by 1% every day for a year, you will end up 37.78 times better by the end of 365 days. However, if you decline by 1% every day, you spiral down to almost zero. Why this is so harder for us to accept? Because of plenty of latent potential. In the beginning, there is a valley of disappointment. Imagine you are a stone cutter. You hammer a rock 100 times without so much as crack. Then on 101st blow, it splits into two. Was it the last blow that hit it? No, it was the 100 blows that came before. Most people quit in the first 30 days because they don't see the rock cracking. They are in the valley, but your work isn't wasted, it is being stored. This is why we focus on systems over goals. Winner and losers have same goals. Every Olympic athlete wants the gold medal. The goal doesn't make the winner. The system did. The next learning from this book is the deep dive, identity-based habits. This is perhaps the most important concept in the entire audiobook. There are 3 layers of behavior changes. First is outcome. These are the result that what you get. For example, losing weight, finishing a book. Second is process. These are your habits. This is what you do. Going to gym, writing 500 words. And third is identity. This is what you believe. It is your self-image. I am a healthy person. I am a writer. The problem is that most people start from the outside in. They say, I want to be rich, which is the outcome. So I will save money, which is the process. But their identity is still, I am someone who likes to spend. There is a fiction here. Eventually, the old identity wins. To make a habit stick, you must start from inside out. Let's see a case study for a better understanding related to health. 2 people are offered a cigarette. The first says, no thanks, I am trying to quit. The second one says, no thanks, I am not a smoker. The difference is massive. The first person still identifies as a smoker who is trying to be something else. The second one has shifted their identity itself. Every action you take in is a vote for the type of person you want to become. You don't need a landslide victory, you just need to win the majority of votes. If you make your bed today, You voted for identity for an organized person. If you write one paragraph, you voted for the identity of a writer. The next learning from this book is the workshop, defining your identity. Before we move on to the next part, I would like you to do an exercise. Decide the type of person you want to be. For example, a reliable friend, a focused entrepreneur, or a disciplined student. And second, prove it to yourself with small wins. Don't worry about the results yet. Results are lagging measures of your habit. Your net worth is lagging measures of your financial habit. Your weight is lagging measure of your eating habits. Your knowledge is a lagging measure of your learning habits. So stop looking at the scoreboard and start looking at your words. The first law, make it obvious. Now that we have shifted our identity, we need to understand the mechanics of how habit begins. Every habit is initiated by cue. The first law, behavior change, is to make it obvious. The human brain is pre-decision machine. It is constantly processing your environment to see what leads to reward. Most of our cues are invisible to us because they are so deeply ingrained. For example, you walk into a dark room and your hand automatically reaches for a light switch. You don't think about it. The environment dictated the action. If you want to change your life, you have to stop being a victim of your environment and start becoming the architect of it. You need to make the cues for your good habits so loud that they are impossible to ignore. The next learning from this is the habit scorecard. Awakeness before change. Before we can design a new environment, we must audit our current one. James Clear suggests a habit scorecard. This is simple exercise that reveals the invisible cues in your life. I want you to imagine a typical day from the second you wake up. List every single action. Wake up, check your phone, go to bathroom, wait myself, take a shower, brush your teeth, and then make a coffee. Now categorize them as ask yourself, does this behavior help me to become a type of person I want to be? If it is a good habit, make it a plus. If it is a bad habit, make it a minus. And if it is a neutral, make it with equals. Here, goal is not to judge yourself or change anything. The goal is awareness. If you have a habit of eating cookie every afternoon, the cue might be the time 3 p.m. or the location, let's say your office break room. You can't fix what you did not notice. Now the implementation, intentions and habit stacking. Once you are aware of your cues, you need to provide your brain with a clear plan. Most people say, I am going to eat better or I am going to work harder. This is too vague. Vague goals lead to no action. Instead, use implementation intentions. This is a psychological strategy where you pre-decide your behavior. The formula is I will behavior at time in location. For the professional, I will write the weekly report at 9 a.m. at my desk. So you have to define your behavior, time and location. For students, I will practice active recall at 7 p.m. in library. But there is even faster way. Habit stacking is where you identify a current habit you do every day and then stack your new habit on top of it. After current habit, I will do this new habit. For example, fitness. After I take off my work shoes, I will immediately put on my running shoes and I will go for running. Finance, I will open my laptop for the day and I will check my investment portfolio. Personal, after I pour my morning cup, I will meditate for 60 seconds. You are using momentum on an odd habit to carry you in the new one. The brain already has neutral pathway for the old habit. You are just hitching a ride on it. Environmental design, the architect of your success. We often think we choose our habits, but actually our habit choose us based on what is in front of us. If you go into the kitchen and there is a plate of cookies on counter, you will eat one even if you were not hungry. Visual cues are the most powerful triggers of human behavior. If you want to practice guitar more, don't keep it in the closest. Put it on a stand in the middle of your living room. If you want to drink more water, fill up 5 bottles in the morning and place them in every room for the house. If you want to send more thank you notes, keep a stack of stationery and stamps on your desk. Conversely, if you want to break a bad habit, you must make it invisible. Social media addiction. Don't just try to use it less. Move the app off your home screen or put your phone in a different room with your while you are on work. Mindless TV. Hide the remote in drawer or unplug the TV after every use. You want to make right choice, the easy choice by making the cue impossible to miss. This is this was the third part. Now we are going to move into second law. Make it attractive. In this section, we will see the criticality explains the why behind our craving, from why we can't stop scrolling our phone or how we can make it more exciting. This, the first law was about cue, but the second law is about the craving. If habit is not attractive, you will never feel the itch to do it again. You understand this? We have to look at chemistry of your brain, specifically dopamine. For a long time, scientists thought dopamine was about pleasure. They thought you got a hit of dopamine when you ate a burger or won a game. But when they discovered something fascinating, dopamine actually about anticipation. In famous study, the researchers looked at a brain of gamblers. The dopamine spike was highest before they pulled the lever, not when the money was won. Your brain is wired to have the reward more than it actually enjoys the reward. This is why you feel so motivated to order pizza, but once it arrives, you are eating 3 slices. The excitement vanishes. If you want to build a habit, you have to find a way to make the anticipation that habits attractive. You have to hijack your dopamine system. Temptation bundling, the want versus the need. Now we make the boring habit attractive. Once the most effective way is through temptation bundling. This is where you like an action you need to do with action you want to do. After habit I need, I will habit which I want. So some examples: fitness domain. You love watching Stranger Things, but you know you need to walk on treadmill. Your rule becomes I am going to be allowed to watch Stranger Things while I am on treadmill. Suddenly, you find yourself looking forward to workout because there is a gateway to your favorite show. The business domain, you hate doing follow up sales calls, but you love checking sports scores. Your rule after I make 5 sales calls, I will check the basketball score. The student domain, after I finish my 10 practice problem, I am allowed to check Instagram for 5 minutes. You are using the high frequency behavior to reinforce the low frequency behavior. Over time, your brain starts to associate the work with the reward and work itself becomes more attractive. The power of tribe, social influence. When we are not islands, humans are social creatures who evolved to live in tribes. In ancient world, being kicked out of the tribe means death. Because of this, we have a deep seated desire to fit in and belong. We naturally imitate our habits of three groups: the close, only our friend and family; the many, the broader society; the powerful, people with status and prestige. This is massive cheat code of a habit boredom. If you want to build a habit, join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. If you want to get fit, you don't just go to gym alone. Join a CrossFit box or running club where you are surrounded by people who don't think it's normal to wake up at 5 a.m. to train. You will start follow to think it's normal too. If you want to be a better writer, join a writer workshop. If you want to be entrepreneur, surround yourself with people who are obsessed with growth, not with people who complain about their job. Nothing sustains motivational better than belonging to a tribe where your new identity is validated by the hope around you. The motivational ritual, hard to easy. Lastly, let's talk about your internal script. Most of us use negative language. I have to go for a run. I have to wake up early. James Clear suggests a simple one word shifted everything. Change have to get to. I get to go for a run means people are healthy and enough to move. I get to wake up early means you have a job or a purpose to wake up for. You can also create motivation. Associate a specific physical sensation with a state of mind. For example, if you always listen to one specific song before you start working, your brain will eventually click on deep work mode as soon as the first note plays. You are creating a clue that triggers the craving for focus. Before we move to the fourth part, I would like you to look at your habit, which habit feels like a chore. How can you bundle this with something you love? Or with tribe you can join to make it normal. This is now we are entering third law. Make it easy. This is the section that deals with response, the actual execution of habit. If you struggling with procrastination or feeling overwhelmed, this is the most important segment for you. The third law, make it easy. We often confuse having motion with taking action. The sound it is same, but they are fundamentally different. Motion and action. It is when you are busy but not producing. You are reaching the best diet plan. You are reading books and how to write novel. You are doing a lot. But action says this is the behavior delivers the result. You easy eat healthy and meal. You will write a paragraph. You do set of squats. Why do we stay in motion? Because motion always allows to feel like we are making progress without the risk of failure. This is form of procrastination. To become this, we must follow the third law. Make it easy. The goal is to reduce the friction between you and civilian person. The habit so small that you don't need motivation to do that. The next learning from this book is the 2-minute rule. Most of the people fail because they do not try to do much soon. Read 30 books a year, read one page. Do 30 minutes yoga becomes take up my yoga mat. Fold the laundry becomes you might think what is the point of reading one page? The point is not the page, it is mastering the art of showing up. A bit a habit must be established before it can be improved. If you can't master the basic habit of showing up to the gym for 2 minutes, you will never master 2-hour workout. Once you have a streak of 20 days, you just putting on your running shoes, you will build an identity. Only then you do optimize. Environmental fiction, priming the surface. To make habit easy, you must decrease the friction associated with good behavior, increase the friction for bad behavior. James Clear called this priming the environment. For example, in health domain, if you want to eat more fruit, wash it and put it in a bowl in the center of table. If it is hidden in the crisper drawer of the fridge, there is too much friction. In career, if you need to send emails in the morning, open the compose window before you go to sleep. When you wake up, the work is already starting in your face. If you in finance domain, if you spend too much money, delete your saved credits cards into a from Amazon. The extra 60 seconds it takes to find a wallpaper and a type of number you often enough to fiction to stop the impulse buy. The 1 hour rule. Clear mentions a man who wanted to exercise. He wanted a gym, but he told himself he could only stay for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, he has to leave. For weeks, he just stayed for 5 minutes. Eventually, he became the type of person who goes to the gym once the fiction of going was gone. He staying longer became the easy part. The workshop, the fiction audit. I want you to look at your minus habits from part 2. What is the one thing you want going to do? Now add 3 steps of the friction. If you check your phone too much, put it in different room. Now add it in your plus habit. You can remove one step from friction. If you want to be general, put the pen and notebook on your pillow. If you want to study, you have the website already logged in and ready. Remember, we are not looking for a massive burst of wallpaper. We are looking to make the path of decision resistance lead to the right behavior. The fourth law says make it satisfying. We have made the habit obvious, attractive, and easy, but you do it again tomorrow. That depends how you feel today. The fourth law behavior changes to make it satisfying. The cardinal rule behavior says what is the immediately rewarded is repeated. What is immediately punished is avoided. Here is the problem. A human brain evolved is an immediate return environment in the wild. If you find food, you eat it now. If you see a predator, you run now. But modern life is a delaying return environment. You know, work today to get a paycheck in 30 days. You go to the gym today and become healthy in 30 days. Because of this, there is a mismatch. Good habits usually have an immediate cost and delaying reward. Bad habits have an immediate reward and a delaying cost. To make good habit stick, you have to bring habit of the future rewarded into the present momentum. Habit tracking and the paperclip strategy. How do we create immediate satisfaction for something that takes time? We use visual progress. This is one of the most powerful tools for satisfaction. Every time you finish your habit, you make an X on the calendar. The fact of crossing off the day provides a small hit of dopamine. It is visual representation of your identity votes. This is also the paperclip strategy. James Clear tells that story of a young stockbroker who had 2 jars on his desk, one full of 120 paperclip and other was empty. Every time he make a sales call, he moved one paperclip. He didn't wait for the reward of closed deal, which might take weeks. He got the reward of moving the paperclip quickly. For students, move a coin from one jar to another for every page you read. For athlete, put a marble in jar for every mile you run. And for the entrepreneur, use the Streak app to see how many days in a row you have done the deep work. The rule is don't break the chain. The goal isn't perfect workout. The goal is to keep streak alive. The never miss twice rule. Let's be honest. Life is going to get into the way. You will get sick, you will travel, or you will simply have a bad day, you fail your perform on your habit. Most people use this excuse to quit. They think I ruined my diet, I might as well eat the whole cake. This is the all or nothing trap. James Clear offers a better way. Never miss twice. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the start of a new habit. Successful people are not the one who never failed. They are the one who recovered the fastest. If you miss the morning meditation, don't beat yourself. Just make sure you do it tomorrow. Never miss twice rule keep you from spiraling. It reminds you that consistency is the more important thing than perfection. A 5-minute workout on a bad day is better than no workout at all day. This makes your identity different. The advanced tactics. As we close this hour, I want to leave you with two advanced concepts of long-term success. The Goldilocks rule. Human experience peak motivation when working on tasks that are right on the edge of their current habits. Not too hard anxiety, not too easy boredom, just right. To stay engaged for years, you must consistently level up your habits in just a little bit. Habits plus deliberate practice makes mastery. Habits are necessary, but they can also lead to a plateau because we start doing them on autopilot. To become truly great, you must combine your automatic habits with reflection and review. Final call to action. You must have the full system, you have the fourth law, you have the identity shift. So, identity, who do you want to be? First law says how you'll make it Q obvious, how you'll make it attractive, how you'll make it easy, and fourth law says how you'll make it satisfying. Write down in comments about your one new habit. Use this formula. I will, your behavior that at a time and the location, because I am a, and then whatever your identity you want to make. Thank you for spending this hour with me. If you apply even 10% what we discussed today, your life will look completely different a year from now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and start casting your votes.